Are you ready for some real thought-provoking conversations that lead to spiritual wisdom and discovery to provide you with clear direction on every area of your life? Well, sit back and relax. You've made it to the right place. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to Heart of Inspiration. Hello there, everyone. Let me move this down here. I don't normally drink coffee or sodas, I should say. But I have been up working all day. All day. I feel like Michael Jackson today. Gotta be working day and night. How is everyone? Thank you so much for coming tonight to this really, really this very, very important conversation that I want to have. I know it's been almost a week since I've been live, so I apologize. But when you see we've been working on, you'll understand why. Today, that beautiful young woman, Shanquella Robinson, was laid to rest. Her parents, she was 25, so she was younger than my youngest child, so she very well could have been my baby. And as a parent of three adults, I cannot imagine the absolute pain of burying your child, let alone burying your child just weeks after she just went to Mexico for a trip, a vacation to have some fun with friends. So the pain. So I wanted us to have a safe place to discuss that because I've seen a lot of places, and I'm not saying they weren't safe, but I wanted us to have a safe place to discuss that, but then also being the healer, the mentor, the teacher, the mother, the auntie, the oracle. I want us to also begin to discuss what we do to heal and what we do to change what's happened recently and what's been happening for decades and centuries, and how we heal a culture. And I could say it's just our culture. I'm probably going to focus a lot on our culture, quite frankly, so I hope I don't offend anyone. Please do not. But there is just an overreaching and overarching energy where life is not valued. And I think for me, life is not valued because we don't truly know who we are. And we've discussed this in brevity before, but I'm going to get a little deeper into it now, today. We don't know who we are, and we only value ourselves as a result of how big of a bag we have. And the mark of success is, did you get the bag? Did you go after the bag? We're having children because we want to get the bag because it's with a rapper or an athlete or someone that has some money. Can this woman, if you have this woman on my arm because, she's done all sorts of, and I don't care, cosmetic surgeries, but she looks a certain way. So can she and I get the bag? Is what I do going to get me the bag? I don't care about integrity. I don't care about anything else. And I might not agree with everything that DJ Academics says. Shout out to DJ Academics. But on this, I agree with that we have, especially in Black culture, it is crime culture. We don't, all of a sudden everybody is gang and we don't snitch and we don't this and we don't that, right? Or because something might be, there might be a rumor on the street. This is the latest that I've heard. I'm hoping that Laugh Gags and Gossip comes on tonight, and that we are able to discuss, because there was another Gossip Girl, I think, Gigi Gossip Girl. She brought forward, there were some tweets where one of these groups friends was saying, hey, well, Shanquella set one of these Deschanel, I think, her cousin up, so that's why she had to get it. What? There's no accountability. You don't value who you are. You don't know who you are. So you can't value someone else. We have reduced people's value and their worth to their social media profiles, their looks. Can they rap? Can they this? Can they that? How long is their hair? How buff are they? How this are they? How that? Everything that's superficial. It has nothing to do with anything that's inside of you. So we're going to talk about all of that tonight, guys. We're going to talk about all that. I'm going to welcome everybody in the house. Hey, Lady D, good evening. How are you? Hey, Mystic, Crystal Tarot, how are you? Hello, Melinda J. Thank you so much for being here, beautiful mod. I appreciate you being here. Appreciate you. Who else do we have in the house? Hey, Deshaun, how are you? Deshaun, I'm going to start getting to these in a minute. Coach Leslie, how are you, beloved? I hope you're safe, and you'll have to tell us how things are. I'm excited to hear all about it. Hey, Jen, how are you? Yanni, hey there. Hey, Narcissistic Society. Yes. AT2, welcome, welcome. Welcome, welcome, sir. I'm going to drop the link relatively early, too, so that in case some of my content creators and others want to come up and have some discussions that have been covering this a little bit more. So AT2, if you would like to come up, I'll be dropping the link here shortly. I'm not going to go deep into stuff. I'm going to go somewhat deep, but not too deep. For those of you who do not know, if you do not know, a beautiful young woman by the name of Shanquella Robinson, and I did have her on my thumbnail. Let me show that to you real quick. Shanquella Robinson, just a couple of weeks ago, went on a trip to Cabo San Lucas with some supposed friends. Her bestie, a couple of other young ladies that I think she's known for quite some time. And the two ladies jumped her, one of which it is alleged that Shanquella supposedly set that young lady's cousin up to be jumped, and they lost their life. But that girl didn't know it until they got down to Cabo, and she was taken out of here by both of the young ladies. The one started the beat down, and then there was another, I believe her name is Winter, that choke slammed her, broke her neck, and broke her spine. They then packed up her things. They called her parents and said she was passed out because of alcohol poisoning. Then they said she died because of alcohol poisoning. They packed up her things, came back, sat there in her mother's house and told the same lie. There's video, and then somehow the video got out and got leaked and went viral. So now we know for sure that didn't happen. There's all these crazy stories now going around about who did what and who delivered the fatal blow. And all I did was beat her down. All I did was come in afterwards, and she was non-responsive when I got there, when the gentleman by the name of Nazir. It's crazy. Now the FBI is involved, and hopefully I'm hearing that they are working with the Mexican police. The family had to pay $6,000 to bring her body back home and to get the autopsy report from the Mexican government, from the state, wherever Cabo is, the Mexican state where Cabo is. And that's where they found out that she had a broken neck and broken spine. And I don't believe in the toxicology report there was any alcohol in her system. Allegedly, this is what I'm hearing. They buried that young woman today. And why this one hit me so hard on so many different levels. There's the, what in the world? How did you go down to Cabo to have a good time and drink and carry on? She had no clothes on when she was beaten. And you can see that in the video. But she wasn't fighting back. And now there's another video that's come out that shows that I guess they were kind of renting a home or something like that, or maybe it was a suite. And so I guess my estimation was there was a pool there, and they were probably all gonna go skinny dipping, right? Because she's got a video from her phone where she's going around saying it doesn't take that long to get naked, doesn't take that long to get naked, but you can hear the two girls, or there's at least two girls, and there's the one gentleman, I believe was the male best friend, that was in the room, and they were talking about, it's on, or it's, you know what I'm saying? Like you could hear that they were talking about something, and they clearly had their clothes on, so they had no question. They weren't trying to get naked. They were plotting at that moment. So we're not sure how it went so far left so fast. And I'm also not so sure, how can someone have the depravity, the level of depravity to do this? This is on the heels of the three, let me find it. On the three football players that were unalived. I'm trying to find their pictures as well. At the University of Virginia. Come on, load up. Oh God, take forever in 20 years. Okay, this is a little big. So hang on one second, guys. I'm gonna zoom out because it's a little big. Okay, here we go. So these young men, according to the New York Post, three University of Virginia students pew-pewed unalive after returning from a field trip where current members of the football team, and the accused was a former teammate who lit up the bus they were on, according to the father of one player who was hit in the back. So the president of the university president fought back tears as he confirmed that Cavaliers linebacker Deshaun Perry and wide receivers Lavelle Davis and Devin Chandler had been unalived in the late attack on Sunday. This was, beloveds, on November 14th. We heard about this. And then on November 17th, I think it was, we heard about Shanquella. And there's a woman that has been unalived. And so I'm going to drop the link. AT2, if you want to come up, if you have time, beloved, that would be wonderful. There's the link for you. The three friends in Mexico that were unalived due to carbon monoxide. Okay, there you go. There's a lot of them, a lot of people a lot of takeoff. These three young men, and these are the ones, let's just say, that we know their names and we hear about them on the news. We know their names and we hear about them on the news. This doesn't even begin to scratch the surface of the lives that are taken because of senseless violence on our streets, in our homes, on our college campuses, in our high schools. We're not talking about those people. We don't get say their name. We don't get remember them because they're not high profile and because we don't want to talk about it. We don't want to talk about it. We don't want to talk about how we in our own community don't value each other. In our streets, in our schools, in our homes, on vacation. We have to talk about this. I can't be here presenting love and light and hope without talking about the other side. And I noticed that no sooner than I put up this live, 2 more people unsubscribed from me. It is what it is. I have to talk about things that are very important to the Black and Brown community, because in essence, they're also very important to the non-Black and Brown community, to all communities, to the world community, because as a whole, to me, the world is not valuing life. I have to talk about these things because if I don't talk about these things, if we don't address them, we cannot heal. What does Mother Ayanla say all the time? Did y'all watch her show? Remember Fix My Life? What cannot be spoken cannot be healed. We cannot, I don't want anybody to think I'm not being positive, I'm not being whatever because I'm having a discussion. This is the most positive thing I could ever do, is to have the talk and give everybody an opportunity to discuss their feelings, their emotions, and then for us to come up with solutions. Discuss the problem, the feelings, the emotions, and then discuss solutions so that each of us can go and take our energy and do our part in our neighborhoods, churches, schools, colleges, communities at large. This is the way I raise my kids. This is the way I'm going to help everybody else. I believe in taking accountability for what the hell's going on. If you cannot be honest with yourself, you cannot be honest with anyone else. Maybe it was, and you know what, if it was, they can go on. But I do know that people do not like to have uncomfortable conversations. And I do also know that for a lot of us in the spiritual community, when we have these discussions, it's like, why are you talking about that? Why aren't you just talking about enlightenment? And why aren't you just talking about this? You know, you should just be talking about the astrology and talking about, you should be pulling cards and you should be talking about meditation and the moon and everything else. Beloved, I could talk about all that. But if all that I'm doing is discussing that and not giving you a practical application for how we can utilize that to help heal humanity, I'm not doing my job. And so if you can't handle that, because we'll have plenty of time to have all the other conversations, but sometimes we got to get in here. I look at this like collective community shadow work. Collective community shadow work. So maybe that's the problem. Don't nobody want to do their damn work. Maybe that's the problem. So I guess if you don't want to do your work, you're in the wrong spot. And we'll just take it like that. Now we're gonna start unpacking this, beloveds. We're gonna start unpacking this. Did y'all get the let me go over here into the live stream. And the content creators, please let Melinda J know that you are in the house so that we can support you and we can put your links in the chat so we can support you and put your links in the chat. I mean, I came in hot today. You know, I ain't been on for a minute, so uh I'm a little heated. But y'all be okay. Okay, listen. Oh my God. Did you okay, you got rid of them. Thank you, Melinda J. I didn't realize the bots are also out tonight by BTW. I have noticed that. I have noticed the bots are out tonight. So I'm gonna address some things about this beloved Shanquella's situation first, and then let's move it along. So Deshaun, you put on in here. Thank you very much. Black people are saying that the picture was photoshopped of a woman that beat up Shanquelle was a man. So she was okay. This is what was going on when all this first broke out earlier in the week. People were saying that Dejanay, and I'm not gonna put that woman's picture up. I probably should, but I refuse to. Y'all just gonna. There's plenty of other places y'all can find it. Dejanay, I think that's her name. That they were saying that she was a trans woman. And so there was all these rumors going around that was a trans woman. And then earlier, I think it was today or yesterday, T.S. Madison came out and was like, y'all was so quick to believe that the person was trans, but it turned out to be one of your own. And people are not mad at T.S. because she said that there was always cisgendered women, and I didn't know T.S. had gone live. So let's lay some things down to rest. Dejanay, neither Dejanay nor Winter are trans women. They are cisgendered women as far as we know. As far as we know. Now, let's also say something. So we just gonna cut it to the quick tonight, okay? We're gonna cut it to the quick. I'm not gonna blame T.S. Madison for what she said. She said y'all so quick to blame. It was so quick to believe. We do get quick to believe some stuff before we get all the information. We are quick to believe it. And we're not as quick when it gets debunked to not believe it. She also said it was one of your own, meaning AKA a cisgender. They were all cisgendered women, biological women. I guess I'm going to put it to you like this. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter to me whether or not it was a transgendered or cisgendered woman. I'm going to tell you why. It was still somebody, another young human being that put their hands on another young human being and resulted in them no longer being here and their mother having to buy a black dress and their father having to buy a black suit and bury their child. I don't care if it was a purple Martian man or a purple Martian woman that came down here and did it. It's still wrong. We're focused on the wrong damn thing. We're focused on the wrong thing. I got you backstage, Sebastian. Just give me one moment. I want to go through some of these things first, please. I will say yes, the narcissistic created media, absolutely. Um, oh, I know, honey. Hang on one second. Yeah, it to me, it's why are we searching to blame? Like we're focused on the wrong thing. What the hell's wrong with these children? And I call them children because they're all younger, they're all my kids' age. The narcissistic society created a death culture, violent TV movies, billboards, The Godfather. You go put The Godfather in here about the mobsters, R-ing war. How do you justify war to the youth? I don't. The Godfather, maybe. I would probably say Scarface more than The Godfather. I would say all these movies that glorified drug dealing and all of this. All three girls that played a part. I think there was only 2 girls and 1 man on the Zeus network. Okay, I'm gonna bring you up. Hey, Sebastian, just give me a second to clear all this out.
No problem. Take your time.
Okay. All 3 girls. I didn't know that there were 3 girls. I thought there was only 2 girls. I heard Khalil is I think he's gay. I didn't think there was a 3rd girl there. I thought there was a Khalil and then a Nazir came. It's not sure. I'm hearing on different channels that perhaps he didn't get there at 3. Perhaps he was there earlier. He couldn't have got there at 3. I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
they're saying there's a lot of things happening about the Nazir situation. There, some because like he's saying how he arrived later.
After everything had happened.
Yes, he's saying that when he arrived, she was already gone.
Correct. That's what I heard. But at first he
And
said she was moaning and he was rubbing her head and played music and then but she was unresponsive. That's what at first. I don't know. But now what is he saying? She was already gone?
yes, the thing is, I don't understand what is I don't really care about the Nazir guy because I can't fully trust him either. I can't
Yeah.
trust him. No, no.
Yeah. The root cause of violent decided society is the government. I don't know that to be completely true, and I'll tell you why. I personally think the root cause of it is not just the government because the government legalizes it or sanctifies it or puts a rubber stamp on it. It is religion. I think personally, now okay, this might not sit well with some of y'all, but
Ooh.
I'm gonna ask you to listen to me for a minute.
Mm.
If we believe in a religion that when you read the text thereof sanctions the decimation and genocide of other peoples because their practices are deemed by your deity to be evil. I feel like that's a religious stamp on violence. If you have a religion that is eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, if you have a religion that has been used and weaponized, and many religions have. So before you get your panties in a bunch, many religions throughout history have done this very thing. That if a group of people don't believe the same way this group you do as your group of people, you will find any reason to take over that group of people. Or if some people are not acting, let's just say women or wives or children, the way that you want them to act, then you will then take that belief system because it will justify your actions against another group of people or your wife or your spouse or your child or your servant. So the two working in concert, you have a moral then, a morality all of a sudden to committing this. You have a governmental, because I don't disagree that when people are in the midst of poverty and unfairness and division, when it's a race bait. So I'm basically told I'm supposed to hate other people that are not of my race for whatever reason. Am I saying racism doesn't exist? No, but I'm telling you that if you take a few minutes and talk to one another, you might find out you got more in common than you don't. On a human level. So race has been used to divide us economically, sociologically,
politically.
Yes, and a caste system and so on. And then culturally, now we have this culture of crime, this culture of violence, this culture of, I heard on the street corner, Pookie and them told me that you set my cousin up and they got jumped and they not here today. And it's all because of you. So therefore, now eye for an eye. You got to go. You know what I'm saying? Like it goes, it is intrinsic, it is deep, it is ingrained because of various ways, things such as slavery and so on and so forth. That was justified and sanctified by the church and by the government.
You're not wrong.
18-2, you're going to have to tell me about the carbon monoxide people. I don't know nothing about that. Hey, Desiree, how you doing? Hey, Warrior Girl, how are you? Sharita, how are you? Hello, beloved. Okay, let me see. Let me get down here.
May I say what I was going to say?
Yeah, please, go ahead.
Okay. I was crying when I listened to the father. This is not how it's supposed to be done. Kids are not supposed to bury. I almost said it in reverse. Parents are not supposed to bury their kids.
No, they're not.
I know it's going to sound harsh. It's supposed to be in reverse. It's supposed to be kids bury their parents.
It is.
Even though it's harsh, but that's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
This girl had her own business, had everything, was well accomplished, came from a good home. A good home. Was friends with these kids. Yeah, because they're around my age anyway, so we could say kids. Was friends with them, I think middle school. Because I saw the throwback picture. Lisa, did you see that picture yet? They looked like they were in middle school at that time.
Yep.
She would have never expected to ever be K'd by them.
No.
She probably trusted them with her whole heart. Because
she was, have you seen the video that she was making? She was like, it doesn't take that long to get naked, because they were all going to go swim naked in the pool.
And they were plotting in that video, because
they were plotting in that very video.
They were all in the room by themselves, with all of them. They were all in that one room talking to themselves.
Mm-hmm.
They were plotting to K this girl. The Nazir situation, I don't know if I could believe what he says, because it's becoming, there's too much in it. The only way I can believe what he says, he needs to come out with his itinerary of his flight. If his flight was delayed, I need to see that. If he had a connection and that connection was delayed, I need to see that. If there was an issue with luggage and it got lost and he had to stay a little bit longer, I need to see that. Nazir, you're going to need to show out all these receipts. Because right now, what you're looking at, you're looking like the backstabber who's trying to run. That's what you're trying to look like, and clear your image.
Right. So I want to let's also discuss this as well. And guys, I did pin the comment in the top of the chat on YouTube. I'll put it again, so those of you watching me on Facebook, I'm not sure how many are over there right now, can also join the conversation I got to find a way to get the Facebook comments in here. I want to address this. Jace, is it? Yes, expressions. We need to be focused on getting all of the parties in jail, especially the videotaping the event. This was the murder of a young queen.
Yes, it
Absolutely.
was. In a Mexican jail.
That's where they need to go.
In a
Now, I'm
Mexican
sure
jail.
that's why they packed it up and hightailed it clean up out of there.
I want them to
Because,
serve their time in a Mexican jail. Prisoners in America are treated way too much better than they're supposed to. Ooh.
well, that's true, though. That's true. That's just the truth. Let's see. Can a U.S. citizen go to prison in the U.S. for a murder committed on
Internationally.
foreign soil? You know, we look this stuff up immediately, guys, on this channel. If you're new to the channel, welcome. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Oh, here we go. Y'all want some code? Here we go. We have U.S. code right here. Hold on. Now, I might not be a
Pull it up.
lawyer, but I tell you what, I
Screen
can look
share.
at the law now. Now, we know how to do that. If we don't know how to do nothing else, we will
Lisa, just call
find.
yourself the self-proclaimed paralegal, okay? That's what you are.
I need to go on and get that as a situation. Okay,
It's
let
not
me
that
look.
long, right? I heard it's like a couple months.
No, honey, I think it's a couple years.
For a paralegal, might as well just go to law school instead.
Well, that's not happening. So, okay, here we go. No prosecution may be instituted against any person under this section except so the Attorney General of the United States of America is going to have to
Merrick
sign off
Garland.
on them being prosecuted. And then also they have to be approved. Okay. In consultation with the Secretary of State, determines that the conduct took place in the country in which the person is no longer present, well, that's true, and the country lacks the ability to lawfully secure the person's return. So unless we were to extradite them to Mexico, so unless we were to say, no, we would not extradite them to Mexico, okay? But the Attorney General, so the FBI, that's why the FBI is looking into it right now. The FBI, for those of you who do not know, is basically a department of the Department of Justice. It's an arm of the Department of Justice that handles domestic affairs. Okay? CIA handles international affairs. Where's the rest of the code? Okay, here it is.
Lisa,
A person who
going to
being
law
a
school.
national of the United States. So she was born here. She's a naturalized, she was a citizen. She was born here. Kills or attempts to kill a national of the United States. They all were born here. They're citizens. While such national is outside the United States, but within the jurisdiction of another country, shall be punished as under provision sections 1111, 1112, and 1113. Now, I'm going to find that in a second. We're going to find that. Let me find that. Let me stop sharing that. So, in other words, they can be prosecuted here. We do not have to extradite them. Although I personally.
You mean Mexico has to extradite them?
No, we have to extradite them to Mexico. They have to ask us for that extradition. We have to work together with them because they are U.S. citizens. Now, listen. There's another thing that we have to consider. Are we prepared to extradite them to a foreign country to have to deal with that country's laws and prison systems when some of us were up in arms because Brittany Griner is right now serving a 9-year sentence over in Russia?
At least I was just thinking that. It's like you read my mind, Lisa. The
Now,
empath read
I'm
my
not
mind.
trying to say that to be funny. I'm just saying
The
we
facts.
also have to be consistent. We also have to be consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I personally And if I'm going to have a hot take, I'm not sure if they were not melanated, if they would be extradited. That's a reality of the United States of America, our life. I want them tried and convicted. That's it.
In the US or in Mexico?
I would listen, just keep them here. I just keep them
The
here.
thing is,
And you know
we
why
can't.
too, though? I'm gonna tell you something though, Sebastian. From what we understand, the police did come to that location and they said there was nothing wrong. So evidently they didn't care.
But Lisa, this is Mexican police. I grew up around. I didn't grow up around Mexicans. I have friends who are Mexicans now, and they've always told me how like you could pay them off.
Again, but they didn't. Whether or not they paid them off or not, they were there. They could have done something. They didn't do anything. So let's make sure that they face justice here. Also, I want her parents to be able to be in that courtroom.
Amen. Amen.
And see that justice is served. I want them to have to look at her parents and her family, her sister, and whomever else, and see them. I don't know what's going to happen in Mexico. Because, see, I don't know if these three folk, whoever people would end up getting charged, if they're going to get enough money to buy that Mexican judge off. And that's nothing against the Mexican justice system. I don't know nothing about it. But what I do know is here. And I would rather take my chances here and be sure that those parents can, and that family can see justice served.
Okay, I have a question. Do we have, because I know we have Guantanamo. That's like a military prison in Cuba.
That's military.
We have a prison in Cuba that's where we also use as surveillance as well, not just for a prison. Do we have anything similar to Guantanamo in Mexico?
No, we do not.
So we have one in the Caribbean, but we don't have one to our closest country.
There's a whole, well, that's another conversation, Sebastian. Stay on this conversation.
Okay.
Plus, that would have to be military, and what this is, this not, they did not commit treason against the country. So I want to bring this back though, okay? So let's just say that the FBI is investigating. So this is going to be a federal crime because it was committed elsewhere. And because these, evidently, I'm hearing that these young adults live in different states. So this is still going to be a federal crime.
But I want to talk. The state of North Carolina charge them too. This was a resident of North Carolina.
They could. I want to talk about, though, how did we get to this place where we have people, to Jace's point, we need to address the man that was taping it. Why didn't he and that was supposed to be her best friend. How is it that we are in a position where people are recording? Absolutely. That we are recording this. Aren't you going to get up? Why don't you get up and fight back? Why aren't you fighting back? Well, how are we in this place where people are there and no one's stopping this from happening? How are we in this place where we are so desensitized to violence and death that we can just watch it happen before our eyes? I've been on here for well more than 20 minutes. Pack our shit and go home and lie to this girl's parents. Lie to this girl's mother, sit on her couch. These kids probably ate at this woman's table.
I'd like to answer that.
How did we get to this place where we do not value life?
We've normalized violence. We've normalized violence. When we have networks, oh God, I'm going to get dragged in comments, but it's okay. When we have networks like Zeus, When we have networks like VH1 with Love and Hip Hop
Mm-hmm.
that promotes violence within our community, and social media that promotes it as well,
Mm-hmm.
it becomes a trend. And this is why we have all these videos, is because they thought of trying to be viral.
And World Star and all of these things.
Yes.
Right.
This is what happens.
Jace. I don't know. It depends on how much money they had. Because one thing I want us to remember, and I will get back to this, Sebastian. I want us to remember when we as Americans go to other countries,
We must
it
respect
is less about our race and more about our nationality as being a U.S. national. See, in the U.S., we divide on nationalities and ethnicities. Other countries, and I've been to many countries, many foreign countries, it's more like, oh, you're an American. It's not really about whether or not you're. And in actuality, I've been treated better in other countries
Oh,
on the whole. And when I was younger, I would say I was treated better in other countries, Mexico included.
and
Well,
people keep
yes, you
forgetting.
can have Yanni. I think you have it. I think it's the other way. There are many governments that were created by religion,
Mm-hmm.
and
Theocratic ones.
there was for the majority of our history. Actually, it has been the religious leaders that have governed the government.
Wasn't it the Anglican, the Church of
Anglo-Saxon
England?
Church,
Yes.
Anglican Church. Yeah,
Isn't that
I
what
don't.
leads the KKK?
I, I don't know.
No, that's what like the KKK believes to be white. Like if you're not Anglo-Saxon.
Correct. I don't know if it was religious sacrifice. Some people believe it was a sacrifice. I'm not sure what type yet. Hey, Bougie Barbie, how are you, honey? Where are we at? Responding to violence isn't a bad thing. I'm not going to disagree with you. My concern is that we don't. Why the instigation
Mm-hmm.
of
And Lisa,
violence?
I have a question. Do you believe that she was drugged? Oh, can I say that?
Well, you said it now. No, I don't think she was.
I do. I think she was. I think she was giving
Mm.
something synthetic that can't be detected in a test.
Where they going? Where they gonna
Because there
find
are
that at?
things, huh?
Where they gonna find that at?
They're not going to find synthetic things.
Where did the people that would have given that to her find that at?
You could have traveled with it.
Where they gonna find it?
Lisa, it doesn't matter. You could get a lot of things. There's a lot of crazy stuff you could do. Just NyQuil. Heating up NyQuil gives it so much power.
Would you not know that that was in her system?
NyQuil, Lisa, you really think the toxicologist is going to test for NyQuil?
They would be able to say that maybe there was this acetaminophen. There are certain things that they would find that if there was something like that in her system, they'd be able to find trace
What
amounts of
if they
certain
said,
things.
oh, she probably took something for a headache? She probably took something for this.
It's still on a
They will.
toxicology report. You're still going to be listed.
They will. The chemical
You could,
compound.
right, but I guess my point, you're going way to the left here. You're giving these young people, and I don't mean no harm and no disrespect, but you're giving these fools way too much credit.
I'm not giving them credit. What I mean by like saying that she probably was, like she was not defending herself when she was getting hit. She wasn't. It's as if like you were hitting a
Well,
pillow.
but from
It was
what
like
I
she didn't even know
understand,
what's happening.
okay, but okay, wait, Sebastian, that's not even the point. So okay, let me say this. If you're a nonviolent person, if you are okay, you're not a woman, so I'm just gonna tell you from a female's perspective. If I am a female and I have no clothes on, I'm naked. I'm not expecting all of this to happen.
I agree with
First of
you.
all, right?
I
Let
agree
me
with you.
finish. Let me finish. I'm not expecting this to happen. All of a sudden, whatever transpires starts to transpire. And everybody that I have heard talk about this young woman, even the girl that laid the first blows to her, said she wasn't a fighter. They knew she
Mhm.
was not going to fight back. There's something about being in that very vulnerable position. We don't know how dazed she was. We don't know whatever, but we do know this, that after Winter chokeslammed her, she never got up. She did not move at all, period, anymore.
I agree. I'm sorry, I coughed.
Anymore. Her neck at that point and her spinal cord was broken.
Okay, do you think that she was probably passed out at that time? Or loss of consciousness? Because
I'm not sure why that matters to what we're trying to talk about
oh
today.
no, my point is basically saying how like she had no like she couldn't push back. Like she couldn't defend herself. Like
Right.
I
So then
understand she's not a fighter, but like just like push or anything. It's like she was completely like
But
a
Sebastian, then
walking
why
corpse.
would you then that to my point? I'm gonna bring you back to my point. What kind of depraved society do we live in
I agree with you on
that
that.
people that's where I want to go tonight.
Oh, okay,
How do
okay.
we begin to heal that depravity? How do we begin to change our culture so that it is not focused on violence?
I agree with you 100%. First of all, we need to stop watching Zeus. Okay? I know people are going to get mad. We need to stop watching Zeus.
And we need to stop watching things like
Love and hip hop.
Love and Hip Hop,
Sometimes Housewives.
Housewives,
Or
reality TV need to go.
we need to go back to scripted TV. And also, I'm going to say this, Lisa, they're going to drag me in the comments, but you're going to have to deal with it. We need to go back to TV shows that portray black families
You're
well.
really behind.
I'm tired of these shows portraying black families horribly. I want more shows of good black families. They
I
push
agree with you.
broken black families on TV.
I agree with you. Yanni, I think we're and I beloved, I love the fact that you're boiling it down to so simple. But we as a human race, as energetic beings, do have some choice. And if I just give it up to the architects of the matrix, I've just given up in saying that they win. There is light and there is good in all of us. But we've become so distracted by all of the other garbage that is out here. And the glorification through music. I've
Drill
been
rapping.
watching. I just saw it was a young Tupac. A young Tupac was talking. It was a short, and he was talking about um, how did someone ask him, did he ever think that rap would get back to a nicer place or whatever, like the gangster, like beating, killing and all this stuff. He said probably not, because no one has the testicular fortitude to actually speak
Ooh.
truth. I said it nicely. to speak the truth. And that because what was selling and because what the labels push and what they want us to hear and to be glorified is that lifestyle. Also, you guys need to go and find a lot of KRS-One's his interviews, because he's been in the game, for forever, and he can chronicle for you how it started out where there was only black labels that had rap and hip hop. That's when it was either fun or it was culturally impactful.
Didn't the King of Pop had some of those labels?
What?
Didn't Michael Jackson have some of those? Own some of those?
No. Mm-mm. He would have been way too young for that. We're talking late 70s, early 80s.
Oh, okay. Oh, I thought you were talking like early 90s.
No,
80s.
late 70s, early 80s. Right? What is this going on? There's a group called Coast Contra who rapidly promote so much positive. We need to find those groups.
Exactly.
Right? We need to promote conscious music. They profit on cute. Yes, absolutely. Keeping Black people down in the music industry is tied to the prison system. Absolutely. Hey, Christina, how are you, babe? So, absolutely. And so, this is now permeated every area of our lives. And so, how do we take our culture back? How do we take our culture back? How do we take our communities back? How do we capture the minds and enlighten the hearts of now not just one generation, but two? We have the millennials and now we have Gen Z.
Mm-hmm.
We have two generations. And these kids would have all been what, Gen Z?
25. They could be Gen Z and millennial. Depends on how it falls out.
They're borderline.
Some could fall in millennial, some could be Gen Z.
Ownership is exactly the first thing.
Lisa, you could put me backstage. I'm gonna do something and I'll tell you when I'm good.
Okay, love. Ownership is the first thing. Thank you. It's glad to be live. Ownership is the first thing. And we have to be prepared to really take a hard look at what we term and deem is entertainment. Do you know if you break down the word entertainment, you're entering a container for your imprisonment. If you break down that word and kind of the root words and how things go, entertainment is basically imprisoning or containing your mind. There are things that are coming into your subconscious and your thought process that you're allowing in. That's why they call it television programming. They're programming what you're televising your vision. It's telling you what the program is. Do you understand? Social media. Media comes from Medea, right? Dark goddess. This is all the things that are being put here into the very consciousness. And the reason why it's so important for us to grab a hold of this is because I am you, you are me. I do not exist without you. We are all one consciousness. This isn't some we are the world, you know what I'm saying, feel good moment. This is legitimately quantum reality. I am connected to you quantumly. You are connected to me. We are connected to Shanquella. We are connected to the Déjeuner. We are connected to the Winters. We are connected in the grand scheme of one consciousness. So if we can begin to not only take accountability, but then seek to change the programming within the consciousness, we can make a difference and we can make a change. But if we throw our hands up and don't take accountability for what we're supporting and what we're doing and what we're putting back into the collective consciousness, do you understand? Not to give up, not understand the behavior. Oh, absolutely. The goals. I apologize. The behavior and goals of a narcissist so we can stop falling victim. Absolutely, Yanni. Abso-freaking-lutely. Jace, entertainment-wise, we have to take back our identity. We are so much more than what is shown. I'm going to break the topic for a second. Okay, Sebastian, just 1 second, dear. I was watching, and I'll probably talk about this maybe tomorrow. I don't know. I've been watching how I'll just call them middle of the road, mainly Caucasian, unfortunately, commentators, how they've related to Wakanda Forever. And a lot of them, almost 96% of them have been like, that's racist. Why? Well, I didn't understand it. Why was Namor mad? Why wouldn't the Wakandans give everybody their vibranium? I didn't get that at all. That's so racist. Look at those women. They took, and I'm just going, this was a very powerful, just as the first one was, movie. With a powerful message. And I had hoped more people would get it. We got it. They were saying people of Mexican, Mayan, whatever descent, Central American descent, South America, should have been offended by their representation in the movie. I say that to say this. We're going to have to take our identity back, absolutely, Jace. And we're going to have to be willing to do what it takes to do that. I've been saying this for the last 2-3 weeks. If all those ball players playing for the NBA would put their money together, leave, put their money together, they can create their own NBA. You're nothing without the players. Reminds me of gladiator days when people be fighting absolutely higher up, making plans behind your back. Absolutely. AT2, I try, honey. I try. I got my tambourine over here. That's right, Melinda. Yes. Yes. If you don't understand what predators you're dealing with, I agree with you. I agree with you. I understand where you're coming from, love. My father hated soap operas. I can only imagine how he'd feel about reality TV. Baby, my daddy too. Yes. Oh, here we go, Dadal. If we go back to African spirituality, we would take accountability for our actions. And then believing someone shed blood for Oh, the doll.
I'm trying to actually get into it. I'm trying to
Okay.
actually get into
Uh,
spirituality.
okay. Hold on one second. But you might have native. You might have. Um, there could be South American, Central American. It doesn't always have to be just African. Get back to your indigenous roots. Roots. Okay.
I have
Um,
multiple indigenous roots. How does that work for me?
then explore them all because that's what I've been doing.
Oh, even your white ones?
I've been known about them. I've been taught about them. Actually, I've been learning more about my Celtic, aka my Irish ones. That's some deep stuff. So I've been studying the mysticism of everything that makes me a part of who I am right now, and it's beautiful. Okay, guys, it's been a little about an hour. I'm gonna ask you guys. There's 30 of y'all here. Thank you so much for being here. Do not run off. I need a little bit of a break here. It's less about 60 seconds. Some of you have seen this as a short. I am having a very special, we're talking about healing the community and healing the collective. Next week, Friday and Saturday, I'm having a very special free event for y'all. And so I want you to check this out. And there's a link in the description box below. So hang on one second, gang. 60 seconds. Let me refresh my drink. Here we go. Oh, it's crooked. One second, guys. I don't know why it's crooked. Why did all want to do that to me? This is the only thing I can't stand sometimes, y'all, about Restream. It does not like to upload your videos the correct way. Hold on, gang. 60 more seconds. Don't do me. Hang on. And all right, guys. Sorry about that. Here we go. All right, guys. Thank you very much. Yeah, I actually showed up in my bonnet. Yes, I showed up in my bonnet. I'm gonna the link is gonna be down in the chat. It's completely free, guys. You guys can come and go as you please.
There was
Um,
no sound, Heart. There was no sound.
oh, I'm so upset. Really? Hold on. Oh, that's because I didn't do this. You guys, I this is really must be my first time ever doing this. All right, that's better. Y'all got to hear it that time. And yes, I put
Still
my
no
bond.
sound. Still no sound.
Okay, well, I'm done now. I'm done. Y'all just I had to link the damn thing down below, and y'all have to go find it. It's on one of my shorts. Okay, it's one of my shorts. I told it to have some sound. I don't know what the hell the problem was. I'm so done. Anyway, here we go. Basically, what we're doing, Black Friday Festival, we are having over 2 days. I'm going to have a number of teachers, healers, mentors. You'll be able to have a panel discussion. There's a VIP option. So it's free. Once you guys get done with your craziness from noon to 7 p.m., both days, Eastern Standard Time, just pop in, pop out, what have you. Okay. And come learn a few things. Actually, our very own Melinda J will be there. I will be speaking. Hopefully, AT2 will be talking as well. I have Secret Tarot coming. We may have Armand Wiggins coming. I have a number of my current and past students that are making some presentations and talking to you about what they do and giving you some tips about everything from healing inner child, to balancing your chakras, to accessing your Akashic records. I'm going to be talking about a lot of different things during the day. There's going to be a lot of different teaching about creating wealth and creating abundance and living a higher vibrational life. So we're just going to have a great time. Shiraz Babu is coming as well. You guys remember him, Energetic Magic. It's going to be amazing. Okay, guys. So hit that bit.ly link. It's down in the description box below. You can see it down here, scrolling across the bottom of the screen, and come join us next week, Friday and or Saturday. Just come on by. Okay. So what were you looking up, Mr. Sebastian? What do we got?
On what?
I thought you were looking something up.
Oh no, I said I am interested in spirituality.
You're interested in spirituality. Got it. Okay. So the reason why Dadal was mentioning, indigenous, African, or other spirituality is you will find that it is more about the journey within and the discovery of who one is and awakening to one's own divinity and taking accountability for one's own life, and then finding that connection with each other and with creator all at the same time. It is not a normal situation for a quote unquote messianic figure to represent anything except for the representation of the consciousness of your own rebirth and renewal. In other words, to show you a pathway to that, and that to be the only pathway through which it must happen. I saw something, another TikTok, or was it a TikTok or a short, one of the two. Anyway, that where somebody was saying, "Oh, well, I can prove that the rapture's going to happen before the tribulation begins, because God would never suffer for uh, his son, the aka body of Christ, to be beat up on again, basically persecuted again." And I was like, y'all don't even know your own Bible.
Nope, they don't know the Bible.
So the point is that if I'm going to relate this back, because I need to bring this back, culturally, what was forced upon us was a belief system that was not indigenous to us. It's just real. That's just reality. So our very own, what gave us a sense of identity, belonging, purpose, what was our pathway to enlightenment and growth, has long since been taken away. And it is being rediscovered by a lot of us. And not instead of, not we hate, not, toss it all away. I can't tell you how to believe, and I don't even purport to begin to tell you that at all. wherever you find your pathway to connection with Source, Creator, God, the universe, Great Spirit, whatever name, Mother, Father, God, however you find peace, that's how I want you to find peace and wholeness. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. I'm just saying that this has been embracing everything about me and all that I am and my ancestors are has broadened me to a point of beyond anything I think I could have ever imagined.
I have a
So
question.
now when I ask, go ahead, honey, what?
I have a question. It has to do with astrology. But finish what you were saying and then I'll ask it.
Okay. My point is just, it's brought me to this place where when I say what is the value of life and how can we change our culture and how can we regain mentorship, ownership, leadership, accountability, where we as the older generation, we got to do better. How do we reach? I genuinely want to know. And I'm asking that question without judgment. I'm asking it from a genuine place of concern, of pain, of sadness, but also from a true place of hope and love, that I'm still hopeful that we can reach this generation and it's not 2 generations lost. 1 second before we ask this other question. Just 1 second. Hold your question. Don't forget it, Sebastian. How do you suggest that one finds peace? I found peace by finally making peace with all that was my childhood and my teenage years and my young adulthood. And I actually found that peace through like meditative, I guess you could call it, energy healing, where I, for a whole summer, went within and I would go in and I would, begin to meditate, and I would just allow my higher self to connect with Source. And I would just say, what are we working on today? And then I'd get a light, and that light would correlate with one of my chakras, and then there'd be a memory, like kind of the first injury or a major injury to that area, that chakra energy center. And then I would go through this forgiveness process that was not only forgiving the other person for what they had done to me, without assigning guilt, maliciousness, whatever, it was what it was. But then forgiving myself, even as a child. I've said this before, some of you have heard me say this, that because as a child, you still are an eternal spirit that's in a child's body. So you still know that this is wrong, that this shouldn't be being done to you. But your physical body can't change that from happening. And sometimes even as an adult, we're in a powerless position or a less than powerful position or whatever, where we can't change it from happening. We assign that guilt to ourselves then. We assign some of the guilt to ourselves, regardless of what the physical, quote unquote, reality was. So to me, forgiveness of the other person, when we say that that's more for self than them, that's true. but we are not even telling the full equation. The rest of the equation is forgiving yourself. And then once you're able to do that, then you're able then to kind of go in and say, okay, now I was holding on to this fear or this anger or whatever. I was holding on to this memory, this energy, and it protected me in some way, but it's not serving me any longer. In fact, it's bringing more toxicity to me. Am I ready to let it go? And it's in that letting go and in that releasing of this deep, dark shadow energy and allowing that then to become power rather than fear. It's in that and bringing it back in. And now, for instance, I used to be hit real hard, like by narcissistic. My dad was a narcissist, and there was a lot, there was a lot of physical abuse that went on in the household and mental abuse that went on and verbal, emotional, all kinds of things. And so I would attract that kind of toxic energy to me. And it wasn't until I began that healing process that I found true peace and neutrality. Because now I can see someone, even a narcissist, even I can see people that do the most vile things in their pain. Not that I think that they're right, but I can see them in their pain, and I don't assign certain things. Everything's not so freaking dual. Does there need to be justice and does there need to be a balanced scale? Yes, but that's how I found peace through not just forgiveness of others, but forgiveness of self. That's shadow work. That's real shadow work. Because shadow energy is just light that's deeply compacted. I hope that helps. I hope that helps. Faith is the evidence things not seen. People will perish by looking at it. Absolutely. Go ahead, Sebastian. What were you going to ask me about astrology? Then I'll answer some more of these chats.
My question is, what is the difference between Vedic astrology and astrology?
Oh, and Western astrology? Vedic astrology is based on fixed stars. That's sometimes called Eastern astrology. Some people will say it's more accurate because Western astrology goes by the equinoxes. So the Tropic of Cancer, that's why it's called tropical. Tropic of Cancer, Tropic of Capricorn, summer and winter solstices. However, the equinoxes, because of the tilt of the earth, supposedly, has been a progression. So it's not basically in the same place as it was before. Vedic astrology goes by fixed stars to determine the placement of the houses and the signs. So some people say it's more accurate. Some people's signs are the same exact sign. Like my sign's the same, whether it's Vedic or tropical. That's the difference. It's really by what methodology you use to determine the signs in the houses. But it can be a whole sign off. So we are in Scorpio season, about to enter Sagittarius. Yeah. For Vedic, we're still in Libra season, about to enter Scorpio. It's a sign backwards.
That's very interesting. It's very interesting. I can't wait to learn more about it and stuff.
I haven't learned a whole. There's some other things that are different with Vedic astrology. I haven't really gotten into it. They're more centered on the north and south nodes too. It's a little different. Wow, warrior girl. The biggest sin was the infidelity to our spirit, worshiping our flesh or body over our spirit. Absolutely. Believing that this life in these bodies is real. Well, no, Jesus did exist. Jesus walked the earth. We can't.
No, that's proven. That's proven
That's
that Christ
proven.
existed.
Jesus, the man, walked the earth. The question of whether or not you believe that he embodied a consciousness is different. I still do believe there's a Christ consciousness, which is a consciousness of love and enlightenment, and man being fully God and fully man. That's the key right there. Okay? That's the gag. If we understood that, we'd value our lives a hell of a lot more.
Ooh.
And the lives of others. Well, Jace, you hang out with us a little bit longer, and we'll get back to a lot of that teaching about that. We'll get back to that teaching about that. Catalina, I am so sorry. At 25, I'm 36 now. I constantly dreamt of babies from months after, and in my dreams I hear mommy, 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 till I realized I wasn't at peace with myself. Come on now, girl. Catalina, I hope you found forgiveness of yourself. I'm going to read this. Hold on. I wrote the name I was going to name it. Yep, and burnt it. And meditated and recognized that it was a life. And ever since that day, I've never had those dreams again. Catalina, that I'm very glad that you found that peace.
Oh my God.
I'm very glad you found that peace, beloved. My heart goes out to you. Desiree says, I think we need to get more spiritual with the self. Now we all separate. We are all separate, which is not good. I don't know what you mean by are all separate. Can you wanna expound on that? Oh, okay. We've been on here an hour and a half. All right. We're doing pretty good. Okay, I want to come up with some solutions and then I want to get off here. I'm not going to be on here with y'all all night long.
You know you always say that.
Yeah, but I'm be meaning it now.
You always say that too.
Okay, watch when I get up off here. Then you'll be like, she meant it. Solutions. I'm gonna put a call out for more conscious music creators, for more conscious writers. I'm gonna put a call out for programming or television or entertainment that feeds the soul but isn't hokey and corny and stupid. Because we don't like watching that either. Can we all just be real about that? I don't want nothing that's super duper crazy corny either. But that's going to feed your soul. And as much as I will say it's been a trip and a half, guys, trying to get this streaming platform together. And it seems like every time I get ready to be like, okay, then something happens. I don't know. It's going to happen. I'm just not sure when yet. But every time there's a delay, then I'm like, you know why? I need more of this. I need more of this. I want more of this. I want there to be conscious creators that are real, not just can say certain words and sound like they're woke. You know what I'm saying? I'm very tired of people stringing together words and not having any substance behind it. There's no real energy behind it.
Preach.
So this is what we need. Teaching our little ones right from wrong. Absolutely. And also teaching our little ones to love themselves and not in a narcissistic way.
Mm-hmm.
I
And
tell my
teaching our
grand
little ones, I'm gonna get dragged, but it's okay. Teaching our little ones that we are not in the past. Oh Lord.
what do you mean?
And no matter the color of their skin,
Yeah.
they can make it today.
Yes.
Oh,
My son and I were just talking earlier today. Now we know Shanquella was an entrepreneur,
yes. Very established, well established entrepreneur.
well established entrepreneur.
You see how much people could hate you just because you have.
We also have to teach. Now, I'm going to say this to y'all young folk: stop making y'all circles so damn big.
Mm-hmm.
My
Mm-hmm.
circle has gone from small to tight to microscopic to subatomic. Okay. At some point, we're going to be splitting electrons around here. I mean, it's going to be a thing
Dr. Lisa's
because
talking science, talking
we,
chemistry.
we're going to be using quarks in a second. Like, I just, because you can't have everybody around you with this energy. You can't, jealousy is an ugly, ugly entity. And as much as I hate to say it, sometimes the people you grew up with in middle school, baby, you can't glow up with them. If those people, if you have not seen a glow up, because I ain't seen nothing that them other heifers did yet that of any significance that was with her.
Actually, we have, Lisa.
A positive significance.
Oh, oh. I was gonna say we seen that they are the biggest narcissistic liars.
Oh, and they're bad at it. They're horrible at it. They're not even good ones. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Mm-mm.
You just can't. I've heard a lot of people talk about, well, they have to have discernment. Can I just say, as an entrepreneur, sometimes you don't want to have discernment. Sometimes you honestly would like to just go and have a good goddamn time and not have to worry about it. Sometimes you just want to take your good friends somewhere with you and, you throw your car down because it don't matter. We all good in the neighborhood. It ain't no thing, chicken wing. Let's do this, right? But you got to be careful who you go out of the states with, out of town with. And if this is a group of people, the discernment comes in this. If you catching the side eye, or you hearing the snickers, or you feeling some type of way, parents, I'm going to tell you something. Pay attention to who your grown children are hanging around.
Mm.
You need, as much as we don't want to interfere, we got to step in and say, listen, baby, I don't know about this one here. Now, I've seen a couple of them comments they made on your Instagram and on your Facebook page. Well, probably not your Facebook no more. Your TikTok and your Instagram.
Or this too. While your friend was over here and you were telling her about your business and how good it is, I saw her rolling her eyes.
Absolutely. Now, I'm not saying you go in there and tell them you're grounded. I'm saying you come to them as an adult. Your child, your niece, your nephew, your grandchild. We're responsible. We got to come on now. So I'm not blaming anybody. I'm just saying this is what we could do to move forward. We need to take those of us who are the elders, so to speak. Us elders ain't that elderly. Okay, because we was having these children young too, so let's not play that game. So I'm not lying. But listen, your position If any of y'all is in my age range and y'all got some grandbabies or some grandnieces and nephews, use an elder. Okay, now that we have that established, so you better take your place.
Can't relate.
Take your position. Don't beat them down over the head with it, but take your position as a counselor, as an advisor. Honor their adulthood, yet guide them so that they actually make it to be an elder and help to begin to change the point of view. My son and I were just saying, because my son's actually, there's 2 businesses now. 2 more businesses he's about to open.
Ooh.
Those of you that saw my daughter-in-law, I call her my daughter-in-law. It's eyelash, body contouring, microblading, and then she's talking about getting certified to do colonics too. She's doing a whole spa, child. She's been open a year, and she's already expanded her business. She's about to bring people to come in and work for her. You know what I'm saying? So now my granddaughters are seeing their grandmother has her own business, mama has their own business, daddy has his own businesses. They're not going to be thinking about how I got to go work for somebody 9 to 5 and build somebody else's dream. All they're going to know is entrepreneurship. We're teaching them now, especially the oldest one. There's a couple of girls that was totally mistreating my grandbaby last year.
Really? Totally. Why?
Who knows?
Bullying, like in school?
The mean girls, you know what I'm saying?
Aww.
So before her party, she was having a pool party. You know, we do things big around here.
Of course, I know that.
You know, hey, we don't play. So she was talking about inviting these 2 little girls to the party. I said, oh, no, I'm paying for this. Nope. She just looked, well, but they're going to feel bad. They should, because they shouldn't have been mistreating you all year. I said, they better not come to the party, because if they come to the party, we all leaving. Don't invite them. So she didn't invite them. And I said, baby, you ain't got to kowtow to nobody. You ain't got to kiss nobody's hand to be their friend.
Exactly.
So she's learning. We're teaching her what a real friend is and what a fake friend is. See, now her party was talked about because it was the best one out of that little 2nd grade group. So you bet your bottom dollar these little heifers is trying to treat her nice this year. But see, I told her, I said, they only trying to treat you nice because they know that we ain't playing right here. No, don't trust them yet. They ain't proof they sell. So, you got to teach these kids how to have discernment. But when you're adult children, when you see this happening, you just can't take the same group of people with you. Okay? We have to get very strong in our light. And you can help without being codependent, you allowing them to be codependent, and without putting yourself in either energetic or mortal danger. Let's take some of these, Sebastian. My circle is the smallest particle in the universe. She's like sub-quark. Garcia, I'm proud of LSS, my son, for rising to the occasion and being there for his kids. For his children, they will cherish his presence. Absolutely. And my son has gotten himself, he will tell you, my son has done 2 bits in prison.
Who's Ellis?
My son.
Oh, really?
Both for weed. Nothing serious. I want to acknowledge Catalina. I'm sorry I didn't see. I missed this. You're still with the father. You're married now. That's very good. He encouraged me not to get an abortion, but I lied to him. Oh, honey. I'm glad that you all were able to come to this closure, that he was able to forgive, that you were able to forgive yourself. I'm very proud of you. A lot of women don't get to that point.
Catalina, I'm sending you positivity, Catalina. That's a lot.
That's beautiful. It's beautiful. Warrior girls, if my boys bold-faced lie to me, their life is over with. For like, I love that, honey. No games, no phone, not even books. You're Irish. There you go. They have flight. I want. I love it. Sharita says you can't take everybody with you. You just can't. You can't. Working with smaller numbers is best. Yes, it is.
And sometimes, even if you're working with smaller numbers, you need to acknowledge at the end of the day, it's yourself. It's yourself who's your true friend.
Yeah. And sometimes it means cutting off family. It sure
Yes,
do.
it does.
It sure do.
Oh, Lisa, as you know, because you did my reading and everything, you read me empathically and everything.
Mhm.
I put what happened to me that you said was probably why I was not capable of trusting people.
Mhm.
I forgave the person who did something to me that has caused me to
To not
never
trust.
have trusting people.
Yeah.
I forgave them and I also cut them out of my life.
Mhm.
So I currently, it's weird how this happened because I actually made a new friend recently. Lisa, I couldn't find you anywhere. My phone was acting crazy. I couldn't get into Instagram. So I had to go to a psychic in town.
Mhm.
This friend, the psychic told me like I could trust this person 100%.
Mhm.
The woman said like he's going to be a guide somehow for me. He's a guide for me. Like we are both going to learn from each other and he has also a similar history with me as well.
Mm.
So I'm we're very like we communicate a lot. It's going very well. So
Good.
we're good friends and like I feel like and also when I'm around him I kind of feel like I feel something like this person is like I could tell them anything. Like
Good.
so I feel like I'm healing. I'm healing. I feel like I'm healing.
Good. Yes.
And I
That's what.
do feel better. I do feel like it does feel better. But now like I'm starting to trust people, but I'm still hesitant. I'm still very hesitant. But I still can trust people a little bit more than I used to.
You can.
And I trust myself now. I trust myself now.
That's the most important person to trust is yourself.
I never had personal trust.
Right. But my point is that's the most important person to
Yep, I
trust.
trust myself now. So everything is going better.
Good. See, when we don't trust ourselves, then we don't trust our discernment. You can't have discernment if you don't trust your knower. Does that make sense, guys? I want y'all to hear that. Though. You can't have discernment if you don't trust yourself. Because how are you going to trust that you're discerning the right thing if you don't trust yourself?
Oh, and also my psychic said I have a very powerful chart. The psychic I met,
I'm sure you do.
which is why I'm gonna have to like look at your videos on how to read charts again because I have to figure out how what does she mean by that?
Okay. And if you tune into um over Black Friday festival, I'll make sure that somebody talks about astrology. How about that?
Yeah, I might be working though. That's the issue.
You can listen to it on the
Oh, it's
line.
gonna be a replay. Okay.
Yeah. Here you go. A lot of times people just want to fit in with the crowd.
Yes.
Absolutely, self-love is the
Mm-hmm.
key. Don't look for outside validation. Amen and amen. My heart goes out to the family truly because I went to Mexico with a big group for a wedding occasion. Yeah. No, she did not have the experience, the life that she should have.
It's a tragedy. Like when I was listening to the father, tears were literally
Oh
coming
my
out of my
God.
eyes.
I couldn't. I cried. No. Here we go. Jace, my circle doesn't exist, but I still get hurt because I'm always helping someone who doesn't appreciate it. Jace,
That was me too.
beloved, beloved. This is the empath. Empaths, listen to me. We do that because we haven't, this all goes back to self-love. When we as empaths do our shadow work, when we get to that place of neutrality, live in that place, we don't seek to fix anyone because it's easier for us, especially as an unhealed empath, it is easier to go fix someone else. And then we come back with the self-deprecating or the, oh, I got hurt. Listen, you did get hurt. I'm not saying you didn't. I'm just giving you a little tough love here. You got hurt because once again, you let somebody in or help somebody in some way. It made you feel better because it gave you that good feeling, right? Because we all get good feelings from that. It gave you the good feeling, and you still didn't have to deal with what you had to deal with within yourself. And you're still going to attract the same kind of people. So I'm going to ask you, Jace, one of the first things that I ended up healing was some serious, like, self-love daddy issues. Okay. So that's a real long story another time. But I had to recognize the emotional injury that my father unintentionally inflicted upon me, and then forgive him and forgive myself. I stopped attracting that particular romantic relationship. I stopped attracting pretty much any romantic relationship for a while, but that's okay because, the resultant was a good relationship. So, or a good, we'll just call it whatever, development. It's developing. So you begin to get the positives, right? Once you do the shadow work. So if there's like a theme of the type of people that come to you for help that you help, and then they end up using and abusing you because they don't give you a proper energy exchange, that's going to be an area I'm going to say is the first area you need to heal. That's the first area of shadow work. Now, what will eventually happen, though, as you become more healed in that area, is that then the first people that you're actually able to genuinely help authentically without allowing them to become codependent, and you kind of be codependent upon that good feeling, right, are going to be those very same people. So what happened was, because my injury, the last injury, was so bad, narcissistic abuse, right? Emotional abuse. Thank God it was not physical, but emotional abuse definitely, and mental abuse. The first people that I started helping as far as coaching and energy healing and so on and so forth, and spiritual life coaching, were empaths that had come through narcissistic abuse, because I had the pathway. I had been to that promised land already. And then it expanded from there. The greatest place of your pain it usually is the first key to your purpose. Okay? They won't care about that in the long run. Being consistent and putting in effort, absolutely. So that was about something else earlier. Okay. Lots of friends and family were not supported. Listen, I don't even look for them no more. Melinda says, yay, Sebastian, good for you.
Thanks, Melinda.
You have to do something that makes you happy, absolutely. Not the empath oracle. Here we go. I don't know precisely what that means, Dadal. Let God be God. We want to do God work. Ye are gods. We are all a bit of divine. Not supreme divine, but we all are divine. I struggle because my father died young and all I ever heard was negative piece of him. Yes. And I knew I was half of him, so I didn't like myself. Because I was created in hate per my mother. My God, today.
Oh.
Honey, I didn't want to accept the fact that I was a broken empath. Oh, honey. Can I say something? I'm going to say this to all the mamas out here, because it's usually us that do this. We have to remember, even when we're not with our child's fathers, they are half of them. Half of that DNA that went in to make that baby, was that father's. Do not disparage. Do not disparage. Now, there are exceptions. Those exceptions would be in intimately abusing, physically abusing, right? Mentally, emotionally, where you have to separate. And that's why. I can't believe, I don't know your mother, so I'm not going to say anything negative as far as that's concerned. Just speaking as a mother of three, I find it hard to believe that you were created in hate. In fact, as I'm sensing your father's presence, Jace, it was not hate. I'm hearing misplaced, misunderstood, misdirected. I'm not hearing love, lust, but hate is too strong of a word, according to your father. He would have been a better man, he said, had he had the honor of raising you and being able to be around. But the choices he made precluded him from being able to be here. That is his greatest regret. If we saw, we can't save everyone. If we do, who will save you? You just can't save everyone. If you try to help everyone, you help no one. I'm so sorry, dear. Yeah, he says it's not hate, Jace. It was never hate. Okay. All right. I'm getting off it. Now, see? I'm out. I can't do this tonight. Jace, I'm going to hold space for you. I want you to come back. I hope you do come back, my dear. I hope you come back. We were not always talking about such heavy topics. And I don't even think we scratched the surface. But I'd like to start having some of these conversations about the cultural shadow work that needs to be done.
Oh, Lisa, you're also a medium?
Yes. The elders would say, watch what you do while you are creating, bringing the baby. Yeah. Everyone handles grief differently. Warrior girl, I don't know that it was that. We'll have to discuss. I hate to. Good. I'm glad. I'm glad, dear. Thank you. I'm so glad you found the channel. So yes. So I am also a medium. I believe that energy is energy. So the expression of energy in whatever capacity it needs to be expressed, you should be able to express it as such. In other words, that's why I call my part of my program Limitless Lightworker, because I don't believe there's any limit. There are certain gifts and abilities we are incarnated with that are more predominant than others, but there's nothing you can't learn to, that you can't gain access to when you're when you're living as a multidimensional being. So I don't regulate myself to just one thing. So yes, I'm a medium, I'm a reader, I'm an astrologer, I'm a shaman, I'm a Reiki master, I'm a seer, a prophet, an oracle. I will channel energy in the way that it needs to be for whatever purpose. I don't like being put in a box.
I like that. I have a question. The shaman, you're a shaman. Did you get it done in like the US or you went outside of the country?
The US. The US. Yeah.
So you found a shaman in the US who could like
There's
mentor you?
plenty of shamans in the US that can initiate you. I just haven't started initiating shamans at this point. Maybe I'll do it next year. I don't know. It's a lot of responsibility. You're responsible for that shaman for life.
Do you practice Wicca as well?
Wicca is a religion. No, I do not.
Oh, Wicca's a religion? I thought it was a craft.
Wicca is a religion. Witchcraft is called something else. We all, in some form or fashion, practice witchcraft.
Okay, I have a question. Like those little things that you just like, those thoughts that come in your head. Like, do we all possess that gift? Oh, do we all have that gift, an intuitive gift?
Yes, some greater than others. Oh, you should go to the Reiki event Wednesday. Please do. Go to that. I was buying a house, felt the urge to buy a house where we were going to catch spirits. Oh, wow.
Oh,
that's crazy.
How do you tap into that intuition?
Oh, child, let me tell you something. Okay.
I was told I have one. I really want to tap into it.
Okay, I know you want to tap into it. So this is shameless plug, and then I'm out. Shameless plug, and then I'm out. One of the things that I am offering, as if you sign up for the VIP portion of the event. Hang on one second. I will open that page up so you all can see what I'm talking about. Okay, here. I'm not going to play the video, but if you guys sign up, oops, stop. There. Oh, this damn thing is making all kinds of things. Here we go. If you guys sign up for the event, you will get your choice of 2 of my master classes. Those 2 of the I don't have it on this page. Hold on one second, guys. Let me stop this share the other page. The choice of the classes is going to be, you will get to have the choice of, stop, share. Where is it? Here we go. Sorry, I had to get to the right screen. Chrome tab. You'll get to choose between two of these. Lightworker Liftoff, which helps you like create your business, spiritual heart-centered business. Unlock your intuition. That's going to help you open your crown and unlock your third eye. I think there's like 5 or 6 hours in here where we go through meditations, mantras, and unlock that intuitive sight. I also have get to know the 12 chakras. So you don't just have 7, there's 12 in total. And then it'll help you unlock the mysteries of the whole system. And then I have my Quantum Life Bundle, which is an ebook about living a quantum life. In other words, multidimensionally, where you're manifesting instantaneously. A 7-day meditation series for you to break free from the matrix. And then I've got like a 3-video series all about unlocking the quantum, breaking free from the matrix, living a quantum life. So you get all that when you choose to do, it's like $27 for the VIP event. You'll get all of for the VIP for the Black Friday event, you'll get all of the 24, however many we end up having. You'll get the replays of everybody's talk. And then you'll also get to choose from 2 of those absolutely for free. And some of those have been like $200 classes that I'm offering for free. Okay. So go on and register. Click the link in here, click the link down below. For $27, you can't go wrong. Okay. And Christina, do post that. Post it on TikTok. If you caught some spirits, post it on TikTok. So. All right. Okay, gang. 2 hours and 10 minutes. I'm out of here. We're going to talk more about in the very near future about how we do community shadow work. Okay, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about how we can help cure the culture, how we can help heal the culture, heal the community. It's going to start with us, and we're going to move it on out. All right? That's what we're going to do. Because I value you guys' lives. And I want people, young people, older people, I want us all to begin to value life as much as I value each and every one of yours. And I hope that you value yours. Okay. Sebastian, anything else to say this evening before I let you go? We both get some sleep.
Nothing else. Have a good night.
Thank you so much, dear. Thank you as always for coming. I appreciate you. Okay. All right, dear. All right, gang. Thanks for being here. Thanks for hanging out with me for a couple hours. I very much appreciated it. Sorry that I've been outy, but you see all of that you see, I've been putting all that together while I've been missing in action. So I've been working, child. I've been working. All right, gang. I'm going to let you out of here. We'll see you tomorrow for sure. You know I always see y'all on Sundays. Peace, love, blessings, and joy be unto you today, tomorrow, and for all eternity. I love you guys very much. Namaste.